Scott Emerson is joining us now here on A's Cast Live, the pitching guru, as we like to call him. As it's been a while since we've seen him since the last homestand. Welcome back to Oakland. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
We're doing well, and I think you've got to feel really good coming out of Seattle, taking 2 out of 3, winning those last 2 games. You get that win. Happy flight on the way home. How are you guys feeling as a staff?
Well, obviously you want to build some momentum off those 2 wins in Seattle. So, I heard you earlier talking about playing at home. We got to come out and establish ourselves in our home field and do the right things and keep playing good, solid baseball that we played the last games in Seattle and carry that on through this homestand.
Is there any rhyme or reason why a team would be better on the road than at home? I mean, this is the mound that these are the hops, this is the infield, this is the outfield. You know the bounces, you understand the weather. We know that the wind constantly swirls here at the this should be a complete home field advantage. Teams don't like playing here. They don't like the clubhouse. They complain about this. This should be the ultimate home field advantage. Why the struggle at home?
Well, yeah, you got to try to use that to your advantage. And, it's not like the guys go out there and think home and road is anything different. But obviously, you look at the 12th man in football, and that's the crowds, Oakland is a great place for us. We love it here, and we'd love to get a little bit more people here. So to support the team that goes out there and plays hard each and every day. And it's a grind. It's a grind. The season's always a grind. And we appreciate everybody who comes to the game support. And, when you're on the road, sometimes there might be a little bit different atmosphere. But we got to find a way to create that atmosphere at home no matter what. And, the guys try to do that. And the fans, they're very important to players, and they're very important to us. So I think that might play a little bit into it. That's not an excuse. But, we do got to play better at home.
Okay. Comebackers for pitchers. Unless you've pitched, you don't understand it. And Emo and I are old enough that we pitched in the juice bat, metal bat era, where you had bats. Easton was making bats that were 35 inches, 29 ounces. I mean, they were swinging it like they're wiffle ball
Black
bats.
Magics.
Oh, it was insane. And the ball came back at you so fast. And I think about Frankie. When Frankie bent down and his hand was shaking, right there that told me, there's the adrenaline, there's the shock. He's not feeling anything, and when the shock, adrenaline wear off, is going to be pain. You x-ray it, there's no breaks, which is good. But I knew, I didn't, no feeling in the hand. You can't really – I understood why he came out, and that was, wouldn't you say, the best thing for him, and really for the hitters, for everybody.
Yeah, a little bit precautious. When you get hit in your 2 fingers that are really important to throwing the baseball, and you don't feel those fingers for a while and they feel a little bit numb, obviously then you don't know where the ball's going to be going, and then you're going to hurt the ball club. So, when Frankie was out there and he threw a couple warm-up pitches and just didn't feel right at the time, it was best to get him out, get him seen, get some ice on it, and get some treatment. And Nick Paparesta, our athletic trainer, did a great job with him, and we were able to bounce back and be ready for today's start.
In your pitching career, did you ever have to come in after a hurt guy?
No, but, I came in after Roger Clemens twice on rehab assignments, Aaron Seeley on rehab assignments, Arthur Rhodes on rehab assignments, and I knew what inning I was pitching. And
the reason why I ask is I had to do that one time, and what happens is you get called from the bullpen. I had happened to me in college. You come running out, and they say, take your time. You got all the time in the world. And you're sitting there, and so this is college, right? This is not the big leagues. You still have a couple thousand people in there, and you start playing catch, but you're supposed to have all the time in the world. But everybody's like, all right, come on.
Yeah, hurry up. Let's get this game moving.
You can't help but rush because everybody's waiting. And they're looking at you. Your team's looking at you. And you're supposed to be ready to go 8 pitches as a reliever. How do you really be able to settle a guy by saying, relax, you got your time?
Well, you call down to a reliever, generally 2, maybe 3 hitters in advance. You might try to stall a little bit time on a visit to the mound. So they're used to warming up quick. So, for me, it's it's the ambiance of everybody around you, and then playing catch when normally they might throw 2 balls, they get on the rubber and throw their warm-up pitches. Now all of a sudden you're in the game, you got 40,000 people in Anaheim, and you're in front of the mound throwing, and you throw one to the backstop, everybody's going to laugh and go chaotic on you. So, what I try to tell the guys is go do your normal thing. Get up on the mound, make your throws, do your 10, 15 warm-up pitches, and we're ready to go.
So hard to do because all the eyeballs are like, how long is this going to take?
Yeah, I hear you.
That is not it. By the way, twice after Roger Clemens?
Twice. Now, the story goes, in my remembrance, he threw both perfect games through 5. I come in and give a base hit up the middle every time. It was, he's the greatest pitcher of all time, and I got to follow that. And here I come in throwing my 90, and the guy rips one up the middle. both times.
So what was it like having the Rocket as a teammate?
Oh, I mean, that guy is a leader by example. He's didn't talk to many people while he was pitching or before he pitched. He opened up after the game. This was in Trenton, New Jersey in AA. And just watching him go about his business before the game was pretty impressive. Like no nonsense.
He was intense,
yeah,
right?
No signing autographs. Don't even talk to me. Kind of stay away from me, which I love because he's preparing and getting him psyched up to go out and pitch that game. Brad Osmus is probably the best guy to talk to. He caught him over 300 innings in his career. So about the Rocket though, but in my opinion, a guy, a Hall of Famer, one of the best pitchers of all time. 7 Cy Youngs. How many times has he come in second place?
Yeah. We can get into that topic. The guy with the most MVPs, the guy with the most home runs, guy with the most size, guy with the most hits. We can go on and on. That's a whole different discussion. But yeah,
that's another show.
I wore number 21 in college because of Roger Clemens. I loved Roger Clemens growing up. I mean, we all did. That generation, like I did the TV with Stu yesterday while you guys were out. I was there. And like the whole time I'm like, I'm with Dave Stewart. I mean, Dave Stewart back in the day, like when you talk like the big game, he was like King Kong. He was the guy, right? He was like Tyrannosaurus Rex. He was Godzilla. He was the monster back in the day. Dave Stewart.
He had the stare down.
Yeah,
and that's something I always remember. People talk. I grew up in Arizona, Scottsdale Community College. The Oakland A's spring trained at our junior college 1 year, maybe 2 years, and Dave Stewart, Bob Welch, and Kurt Young, and those guys were on our fields. And I got to go shag and play catch with them. But just to watch Ron Darling, the Eck, and to watch these guys work and how powerful they look to me. Like these guys aren't intimidated of anything. They were Oakland A's baseball. And so when I was fortunate to come to the Oakland A's organization and come up here to the big leagues, those are the guys that I Dave Duncan, probably one of the greatest pitching coaches of all time. Yeah. Those are the guys for me that I look at and go, wow, I get to see these guys. I get to see the numbers up here and Dave Stewart and Bob Welch and Kurt Young and Storm Davis and Niek, those guys, just watching them go out and do their business at Scottsdale Community College was like, this is something I want to do. And it was awesome.
How do you create that down here? How do you make your guys go, you're like Dave Stewart, you're like Bob Welch, Mike Moore, Dennis Eckersley? I mean, how do you build them up and make them get that sense of belief? Because a guy who's doing that for you this year is Paul Blackburn. He believes. It's just not, okay, I get it. He changes grip. You could say that stuff to me all you want. Yeah. There is something about, there's a difference between going out on the mound and surviving versus going out to be a winner.
Yeah, most definitely. The one thing, though, is, all those guys that you talked about had that one thing, and that's confidence, and that's you're not going to beat me. I know that, I remember Stu talked to the group in Instructional League when I was the pitching coordinator about somebody asked him how he dealt with failure, and one of his answers was failure. I never failed. His point was I just didn't have it that day. He gave them such good advice that he was lucky, or he was so confident in himself. And this is how I took the conversation. So when guys are down here, they got to be them. James Caprillion, Paul Blackburn, Frankie Montas, Cole Irvin, and Zach Logue, when they go out and take that mound as starting pitchers, they have to command the strike zone, but they got to command and demand it of themselves to be who they are. You know, if you're not a 96, 97 guy, well, you better locate, and you better not be afraid to locate. And that's kind of a message I try to tell guys too. Like, you can be a power pitcher with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. You act like it. Here I come. I'm coming to get you. I'm going to be the aggressor, and then I'm going to change speeds. You know my saying. And then I'm going to throw my breaking ball off.
Give him the saying. We're on video now.
Well, if hitting is time and pitching is disruption of timing, and I truly believe in that. You got to be the aggressor with all your pitches. When you got to be in the zone, you got to be in the zone where you want to be in the zone. You got to have that intent to throw it where you want to throw it. And that mindset is, here I come. I'm going to beat you to the spot. I remember Dallas Braden pitching one day, and he talked about beating you to the spot. And it was a great term for me, and I've used it for the last 7-8 years since, actually longer than that, maybe 10 years now. Beat them to the spot. And beating them to the spot doesn't necessarily mean just with location. It means, or just with velocity. It means beating them to the spot with location. If they're thinking up and in, get it down and away. Drive it through the strike zone. And I think our guys, hopefully we can continue to build that bulldog type Dave Stewart smoke mentality.
Yeah, because if you got that, man, the difference that makes, and just all the numbers that we have and everything, and you guys have your own version of data. But there's just something about when that lead guy goes out and gives you that opportunity to win, it just really sets up the entire game for you.
Yeah, starting pitching is very important to set up the game. And when your guys go out there and they're pumping strikes and they're being the aggressor, then that's great. And that's what you want. When they go out there and they're not feeling it, they're nibbling the strike zone a little bit, generally they put themselves in trouble. And, we just try to force our guys to throw as many good quality strikes as possible and believe in yourself. I mean, there's a belief system that, I tell the guys, if I believe in your career more than you believe in your career, we got a problem, right? So you got to go out there with the intent that you're the best. I mean, that's your mound out there. It's 24/17. I'm going to stay within the hallway of the lane down the slope of the mound, and I'm coming at you with aggressiveness. And aggressiveness means, I'm moving pretty good. I'm throwing strikes. I'm changing speeds, and I'm being unpredictable. That's what aggressiveness is.
And one guy you want to talk about how it just changes everything for you is Dany Jimenez. I mean, Dany Jimenez going into yesterday, I don't know what the numbers are, but going into yesterday, they were just 1 for 34 on his slider. And he threw him yesterday, so it's better. Cody, look that up what we are now. But you're talking about a guy who's 10 for 10 saves. He's given up one hit all year with his slider. He has the ability to throw it for a strike, the ability to throw it for a strikeout, throw it at any time. What's been missing with Dany Jimenez where he was before, where he is now? Where he is now is he could be your representative at the All-Star game.
I think, I remember when we lost Dany a few years ago, when we Rule 5'd him and sent it back, he was telling me, I want to be here. And we finally got him back, and I think that's a confidence boost. We put him in the closer's role when Lou went down with the COVID stuff, and he's taken off. He's demanding the most out of himself. He's a very good planner of what he can do and what he can't do. He looks like he's cool, calm, and collected. Like there's ice in his veins. He nothing's rattled him so far.
Not a whole lot of emotion out on the mound.
And from a closer, that's great. He's earned every opportunity he's gotten so far. And I enjoy watching him pitch because I know he's out there. That's that energy. Like you could talk to Stu about it. That's that energy. This guy is out there. And when other teams and other hitters know he's out there, they're going to be aware of him. And I think he's doing a great job.
Give me the numbers on the slider, Commander.
1 for 36 now. It's a .28 batting average.
Now, and we talked about it yesterday with Stu on TV. Stu goes, yeah, but don't forget, he gets it up there 95, 96. So you as a hitter, you can't go up there just like a slider because, boom, he can pop 95, 96 on you. And if you're not ready for that, that's going to be either blown by you on your hands. I mean, he's become a weapon.
Yeah, that's where, the saying goes right there. And, they got to respect the fastball. Boom, there's the breaking ball. Now they got to respect the breaking ball, and boom, there's the fastball. So when he can be dominant with two dominant pitches, it's fun to watch.
I've said this about A.J. Puck all season, and I'm going to continue to say this. You tell me whether I'm right or wrong. I know you will. A.J. Puck, to me, I don't care if he goes out there and strikes every guy out. I don't care if he goes out there and gives up 3 home runs. The only thing that matters for me for A.J. Puck is that after he throws, he shows up the next day and doesn't go on the IL. When I can see A.J. Puck pitch 20 times or more in a season, not go on the IL, I'm going thumbs up. I know he's got the talent. I know he's got the arm. To me, it's all about, can he stay healthy?
Yeah, I'll take the 2 out of the 3. I'll take the strikeouts and staying healthy, and we won't take the home runs.
I get you.
Yeah.
I need him to be healthy.
AJ's put himself in a spot with his delivery that he feels comfortable with, that his arm feels good. He's bouncing back better than he's ever have. He's developing confidence. We've put him in some leverage situations to see what he can do, and it's fun to watch AJ grow. And like I said, we need to keep him healthy the best we can. And when he says I'm feeling really good, we're going to use him. And when he says I'm not feeling so good, we got to think about it.
I want you to say to the crowd, say it one more time. This is our first time that we're allowed to do this. So you've seen it for years. They're seeing it for the first time. Give me your saying.
If hitting's timing, pitching is disruption of timing.
That's it. That's all we need to know. I know you got to get out of here. I guess you got to go to meetings.
Well, pretty soon. I got to go to lunch first.
Is that what they gave me the wrap? They gave me the wrap it up. Always great to see you, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
And by the way, your pitchers are making you proud right now. There's no doubt.
Yep, they're a great group of guys. They work their butts off, and it's fun to watch.